Upon completion of my analysis, I prepared and signed my Section 212 statement, also referred to as a report, and submitted it to Colonel Munakadi for review. I did not receive any query or feedback from Colonel Munakadi.
Captain, when we move to the next paragraph, please be sensitive of the issues that we mentioned. Refer to the named person there as witness B.
Thank you.
Just before you go to paragraph 30, did Colonel Munakadi in fact review your Section 212 statement? Or did it just come back the way it was when you gave it to him?
Commissioners, when you sent a case for review, you either going to receive a case back when there is a mistake on the case to rectify. If there is no mistake to rectify, the case goes further for completion and for archiving. So
let's clarify this. If you give it to Colonel Munakadi for review and he does not require you to correct anything, then it does not come back to you.
It doesn't come
goes
back
for archiving.
Yes, commissioners.
Which is what happened in this case.
Commissioners, you will get it when I go through the statement.
Okay.
But as it is, where it is now, looking at the date difference, I will assume that when 5 days has lapsed, depending on the backlog, because even Colonel Mlakadi doesn't review a case immediately when you bring it to her. You will put it in a box, and there's a sequence of cases. So basically, it's first in, first out. So I'll assume that either it is reviewed and passed the review, or either it's not reviewed.
And your assumption was based on that last sentence of paragraph 29, where you say, I did not receive any queries or feedback.
That's correct, Commissioners.
Thanks.
What if the very people trusted to solve murders were helping hide the truth? South Africa has been rocked by shocking allegations involving a senior police captain, forensic reports filled with glaring mistakes, and firearms now linked to over 30 violent crimes. Among those cases, the murder of popular musician DJ Sumbody, DJ Vintos, and businessman Don Tindleni, now suspended Saps Captain Laurence Itumeleng Makgotloe, stands accused of helping cover up crucial ballistic evidence. And investigators say this could be much bigger than one corrupt officer. This is the story behind the Saps Ballistics scandal. On Friday, South African police arrested suspended police captain Laurence Itumeleng Makgotloe. Just days later, he appeared briefly before the Pretoria Magistrate Court. The charges against him are serious: defeating the ends of justice, possession of ammunition without authorization, and accessory after the fact to murder. According to police, Makgotloe was involved in a controversial forensic ballistic report connected to firearms used in multiple violent crimes. At first, those guns were believed to be linked mainly to the murder of Armand Swart, but investigators became suspicious. Something about the original ballistic report didn't make sense. The findings reportedly contained major errors, mistakes police say should never have happened, especially from a senior and experienced forensic analyst. That raised a terrifying question: were these mistakes accidental or deliberate?
Okay. So Captain Makgotloe faces 3 charges. One, accessory after fact, defeating the ends of justice, as well as being in possession of unlicensed ammunition. This case emanates as far back as the Armand Swart case, where there were glaring errors in the report of Captain Makgotloe. in which he failed to properly analyze the exhibits, which are the firearms that he was responsible for analyzing. So in his report, he did not link firearms to other serious crimes, but later when the investigators requested for a second opinion, these firearms then linked to about 30 cases, serious and violent cases, including your majority being murder and some of them attempted murder. So through the relentless efforts of those investigators, we are now solving the murders of DJ Sumbody and his two bodyguards. We are now solving the murders of Aman Swart. We are solving the murder of Don Tindleni as well as DJ Vintos, as well as the attempted murders of DJ Vintos, as well as Joe Sibayoni. So if it wasn't for these investigators insisting for a second opinion on the ballistic report, we wouldn't have unraveled or solved all these other cases that I'm mentioning and linked these firearms. So for a third opinion, again, those firearms were then from Amanzimtoti taken to Eastern Cape for another opinion, where indeed the Amanzimtoti lab corroborated what the Eastern Cape lab was saying, in that they did link this particular firearms to all those 30 cases. Investigations continue and our members continue to be hard at work.
Because of growing concerns, the firearms were sent for a second independent forensic analysis at the Eastern Cape Forensic Science Laboratory. And what investigators discovered changed everything. The second report confirmed that the weapons were not linked to just one case, but to 30 serious and violent crimes across South Africa. Most of those cases involve murder, attempted murder, according to Saps spokesperson Athlenda Mate. Forensic experts agreed that the original report failed to connect the guns to numerous crime scenes already in the National Ballistic Database. Police say the corrected findings now allow investigators to reopen and reconnect evidence from multiple unsolved cases. This could mean more arrests, more prosecutions, and possibly the exposure of a larger criminal syndicate operating behind the scenes.
One AK-47 was found together with 2 pistols. So it means that after murdering Aman Swart, those suspects proceeded to one of the homes of the suspects. They abandoned that particular vehicle, knowing that obviously police are hot on their heels. They got into another vehicle, but little did they know that intelligence was already tailing them, and they then got arrested. Fine. So fast forward, obviously those firearms that are found are then taken for ballistics testing at our head office forensic science laboratory. And upon completion of that particular report, there are then glaring mistakes and errors that are then noted. While our organized crime detectives are still on the ground, obviously they receive information that these particular hitmen are involved in a number of high-profile cases, and they had been, involved in a lot of murders and a lot of attempted murders. But when that particular report, that was obviously signed off then by Captain Makgotloe, then is finalized and presented, these 2 investigators from Gauteng Organized Crime then noticed that there are a lot of errors and there are no linkages. We are here today because of those 2 investigators, and I think we need to give credit.
One of the biggest shocks in the investigation was alleged link to the murder of DJ Sumbody. Born Opa John Sefoka, DJ Sumbody was one of the biggest names in amapiano music. Known for hit songs like Monate Mpolai and Ayep Yep. He wasn't just a musician, He was an entrepreneur, a businessman, and a major cultural figure in South Africa. In November 2022, DJ Sumbody was gunned down in a hail of bullets in Johannesburg. The murder shocked the entire country. For years, many questions remain unanswered. Who ordered the hit? Why was he targeted? And who supplied the weapons? Now, investigators believe some of the same firearms connected to his murder may also be tied to multiple other killings. The guns were reportedly also linked to the murders of DJ Vintos and businessman Don Tindleni, and police say more connections are still being investigated. This raises fears that organized crime networks may have been operating freely while evidence was allegedly mishandled inside the forensic system itself. The case against Captain Makgotloe has been postponed for a formal bail application, but the investigation is far from over. As forensic teams continue analyzing evidence, more criminal cases could soon be connected to the same firearms. For the families of the victims, this could finally bring long-awaited answers. But for South Africa, this scandal raises disturbing concerns about corruption, organized crime, and the integrity of the justice system itself. If forensic evidence can be allegedly be manipulated, how many other cases were affected? And how many dangerous criminals may still be walking free? What do you think about this case? Do you believe this was incompetence or a deliberate cover-up? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification for more true crime and investigative stories from South Africa.